discussion. We'll start with sampling, and today we'll discuss what are the statistical concept, what is a population, what is a sample, and what are the types of sampling, like in terms of attribute sampling and in terms of variable sampling. We'll see the sampling method, how to select the sample. First, what are the sampling methods we have and how to select them. This is a good challenge for us. And we'll discuss what are the process control techniques in order to, when we are conducting the sampling procedures. What is a population? For example, population of any country or population of any, like the documents of any company. Like we have sale invoices, we have purchase invoices, we have maybe we're talking about Procter & Gamble, we're talking about big companies like Nestle. If you are talking about their sales invoices, then they may be in hundred of thousands sale invoices. So as an auditor, we cannot check everything. First of all, we cannot. The other thing is, it is not required, because as per our internal auditing concepts, we have to provide a reasonable assurance. Means based on the assessment of the risk and fraud and errors, we will define through formulas, mathematical formulas, how much intensive work is required. If fraud is less, errors are less, they have qualified people in their office, and they have a strong infrastructure for enterprise resource system. So we can conclude that they don't need much intensive investigation because they are already in a proper channel. This is we can do through a test of controls. And how to do sampling, this is we are going to discuss today. But this is as based on so many factors, as I told you. Then we have sample. Sample are the selection from population. For example, if we have a drum of rice and I put my hand and I pick something, this is called sample. Now I have to judge myself on sample. If I put my hand, I get the good one. So I will say this whole lot of rice is good. This is selecting the sample and making decision and applying it again on the population, right? Okay, then there are some statistical things in our general mathematics language. In our mathematics language, we have average, right? Average is if there are 6 students in the class, we divide by 6. And we'll get 1 student average percentage. This is in sophisticated language. We have mean, median, and mode. Mean is another name of average. So I will say, I'll come and I have to select something. I'll say there are 10 students in the class. Some got 50, some got 90, some got 70 marks. But I want to give an average. I want to see what this group they belongs to. So I will take 50 plus 60 plus 70, whatever marks they have and whatever number of students they are, I will divide. So average will tell that they stand somewhere in 60 or 65% of the marks. So he says the shape, height and width of the population distributions curves are quantified through its measures of central tendency. Central tendency means tendency towards the center. For example, like if in a family there are 5 brothers sisters, the center of the family is father and mother, So we have to test the central tendency, how much they are inclined to their parents. Same way, how much we will see this is an average. So how is people are away and deviated from that? It's help us to take decisions. This mean is the arithmetic average of the set of numbers. Median is the middle value. What we do is we arrange the data into, if it is 1 to 100, there are so many observations. We take the middle value. Obviously between 1 and 100 is 50 is the middle value. The mode is most prominent, if I come in a class, how many marks you have? 70. How many marks you have? 70. How many marks you have? 70. So this is mode, the most repeated, most prominent stuff. Just for once, when I was in school, we were studying statistics. So my teacher, she has mode here. She has something. So she said, look, the most prominent. So same like, the mode is the most prominent, which is most repeated into. So this one you will see. Now let's take an example of mean, median, mode. He says an investor has 8 investments and calculate the central tendency. So obviously number of investment 8, so 8 will be the dividing, and then we have to see what is the population 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 divided by 8. So average investment for, maybe he has invested in the HSBC, in Barclays, in say JP Morgan or some other places. So average, if you see average is, for example, if I ask from you, if you're a business girl, how much you earn every month, because I want to calculate, not from you, okay, for example, from any girl who is willing to marry. So if I ask from her, look, how much you earn, so I can plan, okay, should I buy a Range Rover, okay, or should buy a Toyota Corolla, based on her income. So if she replies me, look, I earn sometime 50,000, sometime 5,000, sometime 3,000. So it's very difficult for me to plan. I cannot plan with uncertain income. So I'll say, okay, no problem. You tell me your last 12 months income. What I will do is 3,000, 5,000, 50,000, same like I will write this, I will add, divided by 12. So whatever is the answer is the average income of that girl. So I will decide, okay, should I marry with this girl or not, based on the average ones. This is the usage, practical usage of average or a mean. Median is in between, so take the values of the center divided by 2. First you have to arrange from lowest to the highest level, and then take the middle ones and divide it by 2. This is so simple. And what is the most prominent? You can see the most prominent, this 52,000, 52,100 repeated 2 times. And out of this all information, there is no repeated data. So this is the most prominent, recurring, and this is the mode. Let's talk about nominal distribution, normal distribution. There are 2 words. One is normal and one is abnormal distributions. But in mathematical terms, continuous, and in mathematics we study, we have 1, 2, 3. Then we have 1.1, 1.1.1, 1.12. This is continuous. So this is a normal distribution. It's just for your information. He assumed a certain, it's always bell-shaped when it comes to normal distribution. All people are normally bell-shaped, not as human, but in terms of graph. Yeah. So a certain species of pine tree has an average adult height of 20. So this is average. Average is always in the center, so he just mark it as 20. Then he said with standard deviation. Deviation is difference. So standard deviation means on average, standardly they deviate by 1. So 1/3 means deviation, difference from an average, difference from average on the right side. The conclusion from distribution below is that 68% of this species will reach a height between 19 and 21. So he just marked it as 68. Rest, he said 99.5% will be between 18 to 22. So he make it like this way, and 99.7 will be between 17 and 23 with 3 standard deviation, which is not shown in this diagram. So this is If we make this full diagram, this will be 99.7%. This is normal distribution, just to understand. What is confidence level? Confidence level is, if you see here, this is 99.5%, so 5% here is a confidence level. Confidence level is the percentage of the time the sample is expected to be the representative of the population. What is, as much as the confidence level is higher, means we can trust the sample, and for example, in some cultures, you send your parents to the home of a boy or a girl. They see the brother or they see the girl, and it is a sample. So the original population is hidden. So as the confidence interval is higher, so they assume that the total population is more authentic, reliable, and seem like the sample. This is the concept of confidence interval.